Hello everyone and welcome to our channel. My name is Amir Merchant from G.E.M.S Immigration Services. I am a licensed immigration advisor for New Zealand and a former migration agent for Australia, currently based at our head office in Auckland. Before we begin, I want you to think about this very carefully. What if the world you are planning your future in today looks completely different tomorrow? Because right now we are witnessing one of the most dangerous geopolitical situations in recent history. And the question everyone is quietly asking is this: are we heading towards World War III? In this video, I am going to break down what is actually happening in the US, Israel, and Iran conflict, what the real risks are, what experts are saying, and most importantly, why you need to start thinking about a plan B before it is too late. Make sure you watch this video till the end, because what I am about to share is not just information, it is something that could directly impact your future, your safety, and your decisions. Now let's get started. First, let's understand what is actually happening right now. As of 2026, the United States and Israel are engaged in an active military conflict with Iran. This conflict began with coordinated strikes targeting Iranian military and nuclear infrastructure, and it has since escalated into a wider regional war. Iran has responded with missile and drone attacks, not just against Israel, but also against US bases and allied countries across the Middle East. And this is where things start to become very serious, because this is no longer a limited conflict between two countries. It is spreading across the region. We are seeing attacks involving multiple countries, disruptions to global oil supply, and rising tensions in critical locations like the Strait of Hormuz, which handles a significant portion of the world's energy trade. In fact, recent developments show missile attacks, naval confrontations, and rising military deployments, with thousands of troops and warships now actively involved. Now, take a moment to absorb that. This is not a theoretical risk, this is already happening. Now, here is where it gets even more concerning. The conflict is not contained, it is spreading. Iran has launched strikes across multiple countries in the region, and proxy groups like Hezbollah are also involved, increasing the scale and unpredictability of the situation. We are also seeing economic consequences. Global oil supply disruptions, shipping routes being blocked, prices rising, markets becoming unstable. And when economic pressure builds globally, history shows that conflicts can escalate further. Now let's address the biggest question: is this World War III? The honest answer is no, not yet. And here is why. Experts generally define a world war as a conflict involving multiple global powers directly fighting across different regions. Right now, this is still considered a regional war, even though it has global consequences. But here is the part you need to pay attention to. While it is not a world war yet, the risk of escalation is real, because for this conflict to turn into something much bigger, only a few things need to happen. If major global powers like Russia or China become directly involved, if the conflict spreads into Europe or Asia, or if nuclear weapons come into play. And this is not just speculation. There are already concerns about nuclear capabilities, with intelligence suggesting Iran still retains significant enriched uranium despite ongoing attacks. Now let's talk about what could trigger a larger global conflict. One possible scenario is miscalculation. A missile hits the wrong target. A country responds aggressively, and suddenly alliances are activated. Another scenario is strategic opportunism. If one major power sees another distracted, they may act in another region, which can create multiple simultaneous conflicts. And that is how regional wars can turn into global ones. Now, here is something very important you need to understand. World War III, if it ever happens, will not look like previous wars. It may not start with one big event. It may build slowly through multiple connected conflicts happening at the same time. And that is exactly what some analysts are warning about. Now let's bring this closer to you. Why does this matter? because global conflicts affect everyone. Even if you are not in the conflict zone, it affects economies, it affects immigration policies, it affects travel, it affects job markets, it affects safety, and most importantly, it affects your ability to move, adapt, and respond. Now, here is where most people make a mistake. They assume things will remain stable, they assume they have time, they assume nothing will change drastically. But history tells us a very different story. Major global events often happen faster than people expect. Now let's talk about the most important part of this video, your plan B. Because whether or not this conflict becomes a world war, the lesson is the same. You must be prepared. Now, what does having a plan B actually mean? It means having options, geographical options, financial options, legal options. Now, let's break this down. First, location. Ask yourself this. If your current country becomes unstable, do you have another place you can go? Do you have residency options elsewhere? Do you have a pathway to move quickly if needed? Second, documentation. Are your passports valid? Do you have visas or residency rights in other countries? Because in times of crisis, borders can close quickly, and those who are prepared move first. Third, finances. Do you have access to funds that allow you to relocate if necessary? Because mobility requires resources. Four, skills. Are your skills transferable internationally? Because in uncertain times, global employability becomes a major advantage. Now, here is something very important. Having a plan B is not fear, it is strategy. It is not about expecting the worst, it is about being ready for uncertainty. Now, let's talk about what smart individuals are doing right now. They are exploring second residency options. They are securing long-term visas. They are planning international mobility. They are diversifying their opportunities because they understand one thing. In an unpredictable world, flexibility is power. Now let's be very clear. No one can predict whether this conflict will turn into World War III, but ignoring the possibility is not a strategy, preparation is. Now let's quickly summarize everything. The US, Israel and Iran conflict is real and ongoing. It has already expanded beyond a single country. It is impacting global economics and security. It is not a world war yet, but the risk of escalation exists. And most importantly, this is a reminder that you must have a plan B. Now, before we wrap up, I want to leave you with one thought. The people who are affected the most during global crises are not always the ones closest to the conflict. They are the ones who are unprepared. Thank you once again for watching this video. We hope you found this information useful and thought-provoking. If you are considering your international options, exploring visa pathways, or planning a secure plan B for your future, you can contact us anytime by calling or sending a message on our WhatsApp number +642217860007, which is also provided in the comment section below. We will get in touch with you as soon as possible. We will be back again with another important update very soon. Until then, stay safe, stay informed, and most importantly, stay prepared. Take care.